But then I'm like, I'm not going to die alone. I have friends.
No, because you know that we're going to be partying in the nursing home together.
If he dies, you guys
When
are
he
still
dies.
there. You know, if I die,
Bro,
you're still going to have Bella. You know?
Women tend to live longer than men, so you're probably going to die alone anyway. Make some female friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, I feel like our hays are getting just so soft and lovely.
I don't know.
it.
Mine, I feel like mine sounds like I've been smoking for 45 years. I'm like,
No, I love it because then I don't have to like worry about it peaking too much.
Whenever I listen to
Yeah.
it, I'm like, wow, what a good opening. Nice.
And I'm like, oh, ear splitting at the first second.
Yeah, nothing better than really shake you up and get you ready for what we're about to yap about. So it's November now.
Yeah, and this is our final episode of season 2.
That's our
Oh
final.
my
We did it, guys. We did
gosh.
have a
I mean,
little.
we had a couple bumps in the road,
But
but
it's worked out. But that's life. Unfortunately, this is not the only thing we have going on.
Yeah.
unfortunately, yeah.
And what
Yeah.
are we doing this week, ladies?
So it's November. So naturally, we're prepping for our Friendsgiving.
Yes.
Every year we host Friendsgiving. We've done it for 2 years now.
Yes.
Mhm.
It's
No, we've been talking about it for like 2 months straight.
because honestly, like I love food.
Yeah.
I love food.
Who doesn't?
And I feel like all of our friends are really good cooks.
Yeah.
And as much as we all love family,
Who doesn't want to eat
There's-
turkey and get wine drunk with your best friend?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something
Yes.
very special about celebrating the holidays with your friends.
yes, and it feels like, you know, they are your chosen family. So there's just an even like bigger, because family comes with obligation, but not Friendsgiving family, not your friends. They don't
Mm-mm.
come with obligation, just love.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
It's like a choice that they want you there. You want to be there.
and
You
so
know,
it
it's not
just
like, oh, I have to
feels
see my family.
it's so much more free.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
This year is a little bit weird because a lot of us are in like new relationship situationships.
Yeah,
Yes.
And-
like the past couple of years, everyone's like had a pretty like a partner
yeah.
that they were bringing.
So now we're at this weird point where we're like, you know, just really thinking about inviting people or like not knowing what to do in that situation when you've like recently started talking to someone and then you're having this like Friendsgiving, you know?
You come in and meet all of the important people in my life, and it's not only are they gonna like them, are they gonna approve of my new partner? It's also, I've been thinking so much like, is my new partner, are they gonna like all my friends?
And who I
Yeah.
am in that situation. Like
Yeah.
how you act with your friends is like very like
It is
at least to
different.
me. Yeah, it's like raw, very authentic. So it's intimidating thinking about your partner like seeing you in that state.
Very vulnerable, and especially when we're covered in gravy all around
Mhm.
the Thanksgiving dinner table.
And I've eaten my weight and just and
Mac
I've
and cheese.
feasted. I've eaten my weight in mac and cheese. Yeah.
And I'm got a little food pregnant, and I'm like half asleep on the couch drooling.
And then they're
Yeah.
like, let's go to bed. And you're like,
You're like,
I'm going to bed.
you're like, I'm already asleep. Actually, if you
You're-
could be quiet,
You're leaving.
keep it down. I'll see you later.
Like, let's
All
go to
right.
bed. Let's not go to bed. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't take me to bed.
No, we all just cuddle puddle on the couch and just
I know. That's like
Yeah.
we plan all these exciting things, and then 1 hour in after we've eaten, we just sit there and like fight to stay awake
Seriously.
because you've been drinking wine for 3 hours
and eating
Maybe
turkey.
even
and
before.
then you eat.
little day
Maybe-
drink, a little day drinking when you pop the
That's
turkey in the
what-
oven.
Yeah,
Hey,
you've
you've
been
earned
drinking
it.
all day.
It's
and then
already a
you
celebration.
Sit down and eat every comfort food that exists,
Mhm.
and then you're expected to stay awake.
And then just all those interpersonal things combined as well. Just a lot of some emotional stuff as well. So I was thinking, like on what you said, Bella. Not really. I've been thinking more. Not are my friends gonna like them? Are they gonna like my friends? More, is this gonna change the way that they see me? Because it
Mhm.
really is a big thing. And I've been thinking a lot lately, and a lot of the other conversations that we've had with our friends find that I worry too much about looking at myself through the people that I'm romantically involved with. I'm more worried about how I'm perceived by them than like, I don't know, sometimes more than other people in my life.
Mm-hmm.
that I'm more myself with, like you guys.
Yeah.
You're not, it's less of a performance.
There's a lot of like societal
sense.
pressure to like be a certain way around a romantic partner, and like especially on women, especially if it's I'm sure romantic partners in general, but especially like heterosexual relationships where it's a man and a woman, you know, like there's a lot of
differences there,
yeah,
which need a lot of grace and understanding.
and
And so that's where like the pressure comes from, because sometimes there's not understanding.
there's like I have to be cool, but I also have to be
Cool girl.
like put together, but I have to also be like free,
And
but I also have to be responsible.
Mm-hmm.
I have to be funny, but I also like
I have to be serious and take care of my partner whenever he has something emotional going on.
yeah. And I think like as you get older, like something I've kind of been dealing with recently, or like realizing, is like not to put too much of your self-worth on what a romantic partner thinks about you or says about you. Like letting yourself be happy when they say nice things, but not
Relying on those nice things being said.
Yes. You, honestly, it kind of broke the ground beneath me when I met you, Callie, and because you were one of the few people in my life that you're not really a romantic, I don't think.
I think
In
I think
some regards, I guess.
I
Yeah.
romanticize life.
I think I am a romantic in like the more traditional romanticism sense.
Yes.
But I mean, we talked about this the other day. I was like, I didn't have a romantic life when I was a teenager, when a lot of kids do. So I think that I learned very, very young not to rely on romantic interests for external validation. I did project it onto my friends a lot, and I ran into a lot of issues because of that, and still do.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like I just don't like. I also was a big reader, and so I was just like, if men aren't the way they are in books, why would I want them to be like that in real life?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I think the opposite happened with me, where I was like, men are like this in books, and they must be that like that in real life. They're just hiding it.
I'm just not finding the right one.
They just don't know
They're
it
hiding
yet. And I'm like,
I have to fix him.
exactly, until he knows, because that's so much of that is also in books as well.
Yeah,
But-
no, you will never find me fixing a man if he's not gonna if he can't fix himself, bitch. I don't have time for that shit.
See, and she's known that since like the ripe age of like 16 or something. It's crazy. I think that I wanted companionship so badly
Mhm.
that I would just overlook things, and I'd be like, at all cost, because no matter what, like love prevails. But there's different kinds of love, and there's also low effort love, and you really don't want that.
I don't know. I think about the book thing a lot. I was thinking about this because I was like, I think some of the thing that would draw me to those types of relationships is like when you write a book and you're writing characters, they're meant to bounce off each other really well. Like you write a character that completes the parts of another character very perfectly. And so I think that I created this sense of, well, my romantic life has to be like that. It's not so much, oh, he's perfect and handsome and treats her perfectly. Blah, blah, blah. It was more like, oh, I have some shortcomings and he's going to fill those shortcomings. And then I'm going to fill his shortcomings and we're going to like foil off of each other. But like life isn't fiction.
Yeah, I feel like that's so
What an
good.
incredible way to look at that. Because you're a writer, and that's incredible. The way that you're looking at your partners, like, are we gonna have good dialogue?
No, literally.
That's so much more.
banter.
That's
Yeah.
more substantial than it sounds. That's crazy. You didn't even
Yeah.
realize at the time that you were like,
But that's always
You
what
did
I
something.
desired in a relationship. So I think that's why I don't settle. Because I was like, if we aren't going to banter back and forth and I can't fully be myself around you, why the fuck would I want to be around you?
that's such a valuable lesson to learn. And I think it just
Mhm.
takes some time. What were you going to say, Bella?
Mhm. Yeah, I think a lot of it comes from like a lot of stuff comes from our childhood and our early teenage years in general.
Mm-hmm.
But
Very
a
formative.
lot of it is like you need people, you know, like you need yourself over everything and anything. And that's what I'll probably be talking about a little bit
Mhm.
later too. But like for you, it felt very much like you relied a lot on your female friends. Whereas me, like I relied on like one personal partner and less on
Mhm.
my female friends.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I think that balance of personality that I had searched out, like sought after in books and like those types of romantic partnerships, I think I found a lot more of it in my female friends.
Yeah.
And while a lot of it wasn't perfect, I've had a lot of terrible friendship experiences in my life, I think that there still was that like general understanding. And even then, now we're a lot like that, where I feel like we have personality quirks that will clash, but that's just being a person. And then we'll have personality quirks that balance the other out. And it helps the friendship dynamic. Like we make each other better.
Yeah, we grow.
And just in general too, I feel like it's better to like not put all your eggs in one basket in regards to emotional needs.
Yeah.
Like you're like with friends, it's like you put everything out. This person can be there for this kind of thing. This person can be there for that kind of thing. When you're putting all of that pressure on one partner, it's like you're setting yourself up to fail.
Yeah, no, it's like I think of like myself as like as a single person. If I had one person constantly putting all of their stuff on me and relying on everything on me, I have me to worry about too. Like I can't worry about me and 100% another person. Like it needs to be split up a little bit.
Yes. And what you said that like broke the floor beneath me so many years ago was, you said, I remember I was having relationship difficulties, or I just mentioned something offhand about how, because I'm straight, about, I don't know, how men will never understand this or that. And you were like, that's what your friends are for. You were like, they're like, your partners can't understand everything. And you were talking about your relationship and you're in a long-term relationship, a healthy relationship. And you were talking about how, yeah, like I don't rely on him to know everything. I go to you guys. I can't. And it's just, exactly like what you said, Bella. I put so many of my eggs in one basket. I relied on someone to absolutely, entirely understand me fully. But it's just, I just had no one explain to me that that's at some point
it's
impossible.
Like your friends are your village. It's not just your family, because family, you know, you don't get to choose them. And sometimes they're a little bit crazy. And like your friends are like that too, but you still get, I don't know, it's more, what's the word? Chemistry based. Like your family, you're just related to them. Your friends, you build up because you have chemistry.
Yeah, it's a choice, and you're choosing it because of that chemistry.
I really do feel like since I've had a lot of girlfriends, and had really rocky like relationships the past couple years, it's like helped my self-worth a lot. Because when you're relying on one person to give you that, like to tell you you're pretty and like tell you that you're awesome and stuff, when it's one person, then the second that they pull back, it like you just crash down.
Yeah, exactly.
When you have surrounded by people that love you, that are choosing to be there with you, like multiple of them saying these things, if something happens, then there's another friend that can be there for you at that time, or like, and it helps build your own self-confidence and self-love a little bit.
And being friends with you guys has changed my life. I think I told you guys the other day, I feel like I could do anything with you guys by my side. I feel like life isn't so, I don't know, like any risk I take isn't as detrimental as it used to be. It's not life or death anymore. Like having you guys, I can step back from a situation and feel like I can make any decision knowing I have support. I didn't really grow up with a lot of emotional or really any support from my parents. So I really felt like everything I did had to be perfect, or I was going to fall through the cracks, and no one was going to pick me back up. So I had to it just felt like the whole weight of the world was on my shoulders. And then with you guys, I'm like, no matter what happens,
we'll catch you. You won't fall.
That I'm going to have Friendsgiving in November.
Yeah.
And that's enough reason to live.
Well, if you're having a really hard time and it's just like there have been multiple times where it's been a breakup or like something really hard happens and we're like, it's a Tuesday night and we're like, I need to go out. Like something needs to happen. I need to go get dinner. I need to go to the club. And it's like, there's always one girl that's like, I got you.
Yeah.
Let's go have fun. Or let's just cry on the couch. There's a lot of that.
Or it's just like, sometimes it's just like, I don't want to be alone right now. Can you just like sit with me?
Work with me, or like,
can we just like work in the same space but not speak to each other? Because I don't have the energy to have a conversation, but I don't want to be alone.
And,
totally.
And it's hard for one single person to be able to say yes to those things all the time.
Because they also have their own life. I think that, your romantic partner is a whole person with their own life and and it's good to have stuff outside of your relationship. And I think that a lot of times societally we put too much emphasis on a romantic friendship and a romantic relationship instead of like a platonic one.
Mm-hmm.
I think that platonic relationships play such a huge role in like being like good mentally, like for our mental health.
Mm-hmm.
And we just put so much emphasis on if you just get a girlfriend, if you just get a boyfriend, if you just get this, if you just get that romantic partner, your life will be put together. Your life will be good. You're desirable. You're this, you're that, you're beautiful. You're all these things. And it's like, it's all put on this like, I need a romantic partner.
I think so much of it is you don't want to die alone, right?
Yeah.
You better find this one person, this one everything. But,
yeah, literally.
But then I'm like, I'm not going to die alone. I have friends.
No, because you know that we're going to be partying in the nursing home together.
If he dies, you guys
When
are
he
still
dies.
there. You know, if I die,
Bro,
you're still going to have Bella. You
Girls
know?
live long. Women tend to live longer than men, so you're probably going to die alone anyway. Make some female friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
And honestly, it makes everything better because oh my God, I've been in so many relationships the past few years that, and so much, and friendships have only enhanced who I am, like amplified a lot of the good parts about myself because you guys keep me in check too. That sometimes when I'm in romantic relationships, it doesn't necessarily amplify those good parts. Sometimes it's so much emotional work taking care of someone and vice versa, especially if the relationship isn't the best, especially if you guys, aren't going to work out or aren't that compatible. And
or or he has some bad habits that you just tend to pick up on.
yeah, because, you guys are so interlaced.
Or in like unhealthy, like abusive or just unhealthy relationships in general, you're in survival mode the whole time.
Literally.
So you're not growing, And like when you look back on it, you can grow from it. But when you're in that, like,
I don't know. I feel like maybe you also have more boundaries in friendships and things like that. Like, and there's also so many other, I think the biggest thing too is there's so many other witnesses to your friendships. Usually.
You should have like one friend.
Especially in our
more than
regard.
one.
Yeah. Especially in our regard. We have so many friends that it really, like nothing goes under the rug. When you're alone with just one person, like with your partner all the time, you go to bed with them every single night, you wake up there's a lot of alone time where there's so many things that could be happening that you don't realize
aren't normal.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when you're a kid and you like grow up with your parents and your parents like spank you and you go to class and you go to like school and you realize that no one else's parents spanked them. You're like, wait, I thought that everybody's parents did that.
That was normal.
Yeah. I thought that was normal. So I think it's similar to that where it's like if you're with your partner all the time and you're only with your partner, they can start like even if they're not hitting you, they can emotionally abuse you very easily in that situation. And then you're sitting there like thinking that, oh, this is normal and this is all me and I need to do better. I need to do this. And then you start blaming yourself a lot for things.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you're able to step outside of that and your friends are like, why the fuck would he say that to you?
especially if you put like a lot of your self-worth in your romantic relationships.
Exactly, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you think that that's all that you're good for, or like, you get addicted to it kind of.
Yeah.
Because it's literal chemicals that are released when you're like cuddling with someone or like, do you want to get down and dirty? Like, there's actual like chemicals that are released that make you addicted. And so it's very dangerous to like rely too much on that.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's other stuff that you don't have control over that's taking control.
Why do you guys think like it's so difficult? Like when your friends tell you you're pretty, and it's like, oh, thank you, versus like when a partner tells you you're pretty.
I don't know. Like, I feel like it's sometimes like if your friend calls you pretty, it's like your mom calls you pretty.
Yeah.
You're supposed to say that.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I wish I knew the answer to that. I think about that all the time. I think it's because there comes a point maybe when you like wholeheartedly trust and love and accept someone that, I don't know, like I think you get desensitized to their kindness.
Maybe.
I think it's like just a given. Like, I don't know. But no, but it's not a given. But also, I think also maybe because I'm not friends with you guys because you're beautiful. And so when I say, oh, you're beautiful, you're like, okay, thanks, Payson. Like,
you'd say that it doesn't matter if I'm beautiful to you. So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It doesn't exactly. So I think, yeah, I guess it goes hand in hand with that whole like putting too much self-worth into your partner, because also the number one thing that your romantic partner shouldn't prioritize is outward appearance, but also it does matter
Feels
a lot.
good, though.
Yeah, like
a physical attraction is
Mhm.
very important in relationships.
It's a huge part of romances, like the physical attraction of it.
Mm-hmm. But I do think I wish there was a way for for us to really absorb those compliments.
And we were talking about this, I think, briefly at the beginning. It's like seeing yourself through the eyes of somebody else. And I think that sometimes, your friends do see you as someone who's beautiful and intelligent and maybe even ethereal, something just very, like they see you for all that you are and for being beautiful. So I think that being able to see yourself through those eyes is important. And also being able to separate your self-worth from people. Like being able to have an internal check for that. Like maybe you do get a little bit from people because I think that, that's human. But being able to look at yourself in the mirror and be like, you know what? I look good today. And who cares if no one says anything else because I know I look good kind of thing. Like being your own best friends in some instances.
And I think having those friendships really helps bridge the gap between that. Because it's really hard for you to find the capacity within yourself to, I don't know, sometimes it's hard, like things just get so hard that sometimes you don't have room to love yourself. So then other people come and they give that to you. Then you're able to have the emotional space to give yourself some grace as well.
I mentioned briefly, we were talking a while ago and I was like talking about the importance of not having someone be there to you through everything, but it's such a delicate thing, and it's like everybody needs support. Are you okay?
Yeah, I just completely blew out my ankle.
No, it's like
get a second one.
Everyone,
yeah, true.
It's like I don't even have it figured out in my brain, but like everyone needs support. But there is also something to be said with going through hard things alone, like with no one there to help you, and it builds this. If you do it properly, like it builds a trust within yourself. And then you don't necessarily rely as much on other people. Like it's good to be able to talk through things with people, but like that you got you.
That makes sense because you can't ever learn to swim if people are holding you up the whole time.
True.
It's like with your like female friends, where do you think that balance is?
I don't know. I don't think I've ever thought. Oh, I think yes. When you mean like relying too much on someone emotionally, I think just wow.
It's hard. That's a definitely like a hard question.
It's a hard line. I don't know. It reminds me of a quote though that's like, I can't think of it like word for word verbatim, but it's like somebody's journal entry from some book, and it was talking about how like if you're my friend, like how dare you keep your sadnesses away from me and only share in your happinesses? Like how dare you not trust me with that? So I think that in some instances, like being able to handle something on your own is good, but why would you want to? You know, like if you have friends, it should be something that you're able to do.
But at some point with your friendships, when I don't know, sometimes when you don't have those romantic partner, I think we've experienced too, where there's a loneliness that friendship unfortunately also doesn't fulfill. There is like romantic loneliness that friendships can't fix, and I think sometimes we can sometimes push our friendships a little too far and ask for more than we're able to give, or wish that we were able to, or like rely on you guys too much. Kind of like what Bella was saying, where it's come some point, it's like you need to step back and swim for yourself. I think
I've talked about this with them for 5 times in a row now. I'm gonna figure this shit out.
I need to figure it out.
I think the right friends will draw those boundaries when they feel like it's too much. And I also think that with you guys, I recognize how much you guys are going through. And after we've talked something dead into the ground and I want to bring it up again, sometimes I'll look at you guys and be like, I don't think I'm putting too much of this problem onto them. They've helped me out. They've gotten me this far. I have to take some steps on my own, and then maybe we can come back to it. Or and also you can just ask as well. I think that's an easy way, because if you trust and love people enough in your life, then I think you should be able to be honest and open and be like, I'm really going through this, and I just like, let me know when it's too much. Just so you don't push too far and rely on them too much. But it is good to swim. I think you're right.
And I think like I do feel like it's a personal choice. I don't think it's up to your friend to tell them, no, you have to swim, unless it's hit a boundary. Like, I mean, obviously, like the first thing that comes is setting boundaries with your friend, saying like, want to do this, but I'm going through this. I can't, and then it's kind of up to you to be like, this is something maybe that I want to figure out on my own so that I can know how to navigate this on my own. If you're in a healthy enough space to do it, or be like, just, I think communication is really important in general with that kind of stuff. I don't really know how to describe it, but that's like the best I can say is like in yourself, like that's not really something like I wouldn't tell my friend like, no, you have to go through this whole thing alone, because you need to learn how to, love yourself. Like I would never say that.
But there also comes a point where sometimes I see our friends struggling over and over and over again, and I'm like, we've talked about this. You just have to do it.
Yeah,
you just have.
And I mean, like I'm talking about like the initial, like it's like because if you've already talked to friends about it, like you've gotten help getting through. It's like initial things. I would never tell them like no. But if it's like something where it's over and over and over again, I would definitely draw that boundary.
I think that and that just goes with all kinds of life.
Like friendship in and of itself is meant to be inconvenient in some ways. Like I think that part of being a good friend is inconveniencing yourself for others, so that's why it's more on like you as a person to like recognize where that boundary is like I've dissected this with my friends a dozen times, and at this point I'm inconveniencing them past where that inconvenience line is.
It's just like love, it's just sacrifice.
There's a lot of because I've seen a lot of people talk about the like how in the way that everything works is like friendship is commodified. Like I pick people up from the airport a lot.
Yes.
And a lot of times it's like, well, you could always just pay for an Uber, but like I'm your friend, I'm not going to make you pay for an Uber. I'm going to inconvenience myself for an hour and get you from the airport.
And then sometimes people are like, okay, you picked me up from the airport, now I owe you to get picked up from the airport. And
it's just something it should be reciprocated.
Yes, it's not necessarily like a favor. It's not some kind of economy that you go back and forth. It's kind of like, no, I picked you up from the airport. You don't have to pick me up from the airport.
Yeah, like I'm not doing it because I expect you to do it.
Yeah, I think friendship is just kindness.
But then someone like another friend looking onto it would be like, she picked you up from the airport.
Maybe
why are you not picking her up? No, like why are you not picking her up?
Yeah. See, that's when the friendship. That's when the friendship becomes unbalanced.
You up like 4 times in the airport and no one else volunteered.
Yeah, literally. I paid her like $25 each time.
I know. I was like, you weren't supposed to pay any money. That I was saving you.
She did not ask for it. But
I was saving you the Uber money.
Like, but she always does it. So I was like, I feel like
it's just like every other relationship where it needs to be balanced, or it's it becomes unhealthy.
Yeah, and like I think I can use the airport thing as an analogy. Is like when I think you asked for a ride one day and I was busy, so I was like, I can't offer. And so at that point, that's when I can set a boundary and be like, guys, I'm always picking people from the airport. Somebody else needs to do it this time. Like that can be extended to those emotional situations where it's like, I have carried you through so much of this emotional situation, but I am physically incapable of doing any more emotional labor for this. I think the rest you either need to take to someone else or figure out some of it on your own, because we're going in a circle.
I think too with the airport thing is, I think too with the balance thing is just that friendships are hard. I think people don't realize that. I think that friendships are a lot of work. I think people give up really easily, or they get upset at their friends and they're like, this isn't worth it. Like it must be us, or it must be you, or something. I think because we put in a lot of work to maintain our friendships and keep them going. And we've put in a lot of communication and love. And it's 100%, I've made everything I put forward back. Like, I think that, and also too, in a world that's, kind of scary for women, having you guys with me, because we have an experience, like I said, that sometimes men don't have the capacity to understand. Having you guys understand that has added so much to my life and put away so much pressure in other parts.
I think it relieves some of the like fear,
the
and
loneliness,
anxiety that comes from being a woman. Is like, you know what? I'm not crazy. Everybody else has experienced this too.
Everything worth having is difficult.
Yeah.
Like,
I think
girl friendships aren't, female friendships or even just friendships in general are not like easy, but it's so worth it. Like I've seen the effects on my mental health from having a big group of, wonderful people in my life.
And I think too, like a lot of people expect the perfect friend to come into their life and fix everything. I know I did when I was like a teenager. I was like, I'm just gonna have a perfect friend come into my life and it's all gonna be fixed. My life is gonna be better. And then it's like, you also, if you want a good friend, you have to be a good friend. And I think that a lot of people don't realize the amount of effort, like you were saying, that goes into being a good friend.
Mhm.
You have to show up. You have to put yourself aside. You have to inconvenience yourself sometimes.
This just reminds me that I think female friendships sometimes also get a lot of gripe because, I don't know, we tend to be more emotional. We tend to cut people off, it seems. I remember, wasn't this a thing where guys, I know a lot of guys who have had friends since childhood.
Yep.
And a lot of those guys, I can't understand that because a lot of the people that I was friends with, I watched them grow up and they become entirely different people. And I think I also enjoy our friendships too because we have standards.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like,
You treat us poorly, we're not your, like, I'm not gonna be
yeah,
your
I'm not gonna
friend.
be
And
your
if
fucking
you-
friend if you're gonna treat me like
And
that.
it doesn't matter if you were a day one, like if you've changed and you've become racist and homophobic and hateful and mean, then I don't want you in my life. It doesn't matter if you were there when I was in diapers.
And obviously
Yeah.
there's grace. Like if someone is having a really bad month and is just like super negative or is a little bit mean,
Of course.
but like
Yeah.
then it's like there's grace. But if it's like if it's not healthy for you, or if they've just become a bad person,
Mhm.
like if we go to a restaurant and one of you guys was mean to a server, it'd be over.
I would never.
I would
I know you
never.
wouldn't.
See, and that's why I
I
love our
apologize
friendship.
to the server for being there.
I'm so sorry I'm in this
I'm so
seat.
sorry.
Oh my
Can I
god.
give you so much money?
Give me some sanitizer. I'll wipe it down. And that's why I love us so much. We have standards and it only helps us grow. I've only become a better person being with you guys.
And there's also like when that happens, like I still love that person and I would be there for them if they needed me to, but it's just like it is like I can't have you in my life. You know, I can't have someone that is mean to a server in my life.
Yeah.
No, literally.
You deserve to have boundaries, babe. You deserve that. I understand.
Never be mean to your server.
We've all worked in customer service or currently, and
Tip your servers.
Tip your
Those
damn
servers.
server. Tip your baristas.
go out with your girlfriends, get some brunch, go to
I
a coffee shop.
keep seeing all these fucking memes about people who don't tip their damn baristas, and it's like that is a learned skill that they have like
Curated.
It's like there's more skill in some of these fucking coffee drinks than a fucking bartender has to do. So tip your damn
Server
barista.
for sure. Like servers just going and like
I
baristas are.
know.
They're
Just-
the
that's
bitches.
the one that pisses me off the most. Is it's like
I don't think they
I
realize
think
with
I'm
servers,
biased.
it's you can see them on their feet. With baristas,
Yeah.
they're behind a counter. They're like, what are they
Mhm.
doing? Standing there?
I know, and it's just like people are like, yeah, I got a Mr. Coffee at home. How hard can it be? Girl, the amount of skill that goes into being a barista and the amount of shit you put up with, and that barista was up at 3:30 in the morning to make sure that you could get your fucking coffee, your fucking caramel macchiato before you went to work.
She's
And they
very
went
passionate
out,
about
they
this
went out
topic.
and got drunk and went out until 2 a.m. and then went to sleep for 20 minutes and then went and now
If
has
you
an
have
8-hour
your
shift.
Mr.
Yeah.
Coffee at home, have your Mr. Coffee at home. Okay, don't come pay $6 for a coffee that you don't respect enough to put a little $2 extra for her. All right,
Thank you.
go.
No, I think that's the thing is baristaing isn't just like regular customer service. It is a learned skill. And a lot of these coffee shops, they make you work for like a year before you even get behind the bar, like
Mhm.
before you even working on
It's
that
just like
machine.
bartending. All right,
Yeah.
we've strayed from the subject
Sorry.
at hand.
This topic makes me passionate.
Next episode.
Next
Barista.
episode.
Next
Tip your damn
season.
barista.
Next season. Well, thank you guys for joining us for season 2. I'm glad that we were able to produce as many episodes as we were.
Yeah.
When do you think we'll be back?
February is my goal.
So everyone have a lovely
Watch out.
Christmas and
Watch
New
out.
Year's.
Watch out on the channel. We might release a couple vlogs during our non-podcast season. We'll see what happens with our time.
That's the
We'll
goal.
be posting a lot of social media stuff in general.
Yeah.
Like,
Follow us on TikTok. We have a TikTok.
what's the TikTok?
HGH Productions.
Is it
HGH
dot
dot
Productions?
Productions. Or just Girly Mayhem.
Mm-hmm.
Probably just look up Girly Mayhem.
The
Girly
girl
with an
one, too.
IE.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, everyone. Happy
We
holidays.
don't want it to end, but
Go fuel
I
your
know.
friendships. Don't worry, we'll see you soon.
We'll be all over that TikTok.
Thanks for listening. Happy
Yeah.
2024, guys. We'll see you
Yeah,
next year.
next year. Thanks for listening to our second, or technically first full, but like second season of this. adventure.
Yay! Okay.
Bye.
Bye.